right. Today's the 24th.
24th. It's been 55 days without a podcast.
All right. Welcome to the Peak Performance Hormone and Peptide Podcast. Episode we don't know. It's April 24th.
What time?
2:29 p.m. I am Justin Bucky with my co-host
DT Roth. And we have a new addition to the team here.
Matt.
We're gonna call him the Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtains you guys will never see. Possibly get a third camera, and then a microphone.
Yeah,
and then he could be the what's the guy on Joe Rogan?
Jamie. Yeah, you can be our Jamie.
Be the Jamie.
I'll Google stuff.
Yeah.
Run the HDMI.
So it's been some time. My TikTok is slow. Your TikTok's growing. IG is at an all-time halt. We have a lot of great things going on here at LifeXMD. No, we're doing a little rebrand, right? We're doing the logo. We got a new website. Matt joined the team. He has a lot of ads going up. You guys might get spammed by that. It's okay.
But you're able to find us much easier.
Yeah. We're trying to make things a little more streamlined, and we're trying to go towards the realm of just getting out there. So I would say what has been going on with you and with your TikTok and the questions that you've gotten. Have you ever got any? I've actually got some scammers recently that have been cursing me out on TikTok.
Yeah. There's no shortage of scammers. That's something I can pretty much plan on opening my TikTok up for the day and see there's going to be a dozen of those in there.
Yeah. Got any questions or stories that you encountered recently? I know there's a lot, but
yes, there are plenty. I had a gentleman. This one's going to date back a little further, but I did have a gentleman who was having an issue mixing his HCG and his water. Couldn't figure out why it was so difficult. The instructions were pretty clear, but we're always here to help, so you can always call us. And sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
What we realized is the gentleman was trying to suck up the HCG powder into the syringe and then inject the powder into the water. And that's backwards. You actually want to suck up the water and inject it into the powder, and it will go clear, and then it'll be ready for injection. So note to self, do not try to suck up powder with a syringe. Dilute it in the vial.
Who in their fucking right mind would even think about that?
I'm not going to use names, but the alarming part was he was the CEO of a big solar wind energy company, and he had a proven track record of C-level positions in companies before, which was even more alarming. And he also followed it up with afterwards. He tried to shake it up, which it clearly says right on the bottle: do not shake. And then he broke the bottle by using you guys are not going to believe me, but he used a can opener, a Campbell soup can opener, to take the metal top off. I've got this all documented. Take the metal top off because I guess our directions were not clear enough. So that's probably
this is a patient of ours.
This was back in a little bit ago, but yeah, this was a patient of ours. He took a Campbell soup can opener to the top of the HCG to remove and then suck up the powder. So yeah.
Until next time, guys.
So whether or not we share this, I don't know, but
yeah, I would definitely share this.
I can lay it out much clearer.
We shared no names, so that's the thing.
How does someone know?
How does someone
know how to use the syringe? Come with instructions?
Yeah, it comes with instructions. and we've got. This is the reason we're doing these videos. We've got a whole plethora of videos up on how to mix, how to draw, how to measure. On top of that, one of the benefits of working with us is that's what we're here for.
Right.
You contact us, whether smoke signal, call, text, email, and we will support you in getting comfortable mixing and dosing your medications, as well as coming up with the game plan for them.
Says on the weekends. I'm not answering you.
Now, I know it's a little different for people who are working with some of our competition because we do get daily phone calls asking how to mix medications they got from our competition, which we're always happy to help.
But I'm not. Listen. I'm going to say this. If you come to us asking, hey, my doctor's prescribing this, what do I do? I'm not going to give you some information that is going to honestly probably help you because the doctor is probably not prescribing the right way. Number one, because I can't. It's a prescription that we didn't sign off on or a doctor didn't. And number two, you want free information, well, go to your doctor and talk to them. And I think that's what one of the things is that people don't understand that when you come to a place like us, we're here to help, give customer service. We're going to help you with anything that you need. But we're not here to give free information. At the end of the day, it is a business.
Right.
And at the end of the day, that's exactly what it is. And when people think like, oh, well, I could just call you and get this information. Well, why don't you go to who's prescribing or where you're getting it from? Same thing goes towards the peptides online. You go to Research Chemical page, you buy these peptides, can't talk to anybody, don't know how to mix them, how to take them or anything, But then you call a HRT clinic, whoever, it doesn't have to be us, saying, hey, what's the doses on this? Like, how do I mix this? How do I take it? Well, you're buying it, I wouldn't say illegally, but you're buying it through a
research company
that's not human grade. And we can't tell you that stuff. So stop doing it.
Right.
And and you get what you pay for. And that's kind of what the thing that I'm getting to is that me being me, I'll help anybody, but it does get tiring after a certain time where you're providing a certain price point and a certain product that is high quality, and people don't want to pay that because they're so used to these research chemical facilities getting it for probably $200 or $300 less, not understanding what kind of quality, and you can't talk to anybody.
You get what you pay for.
That's what I'm saying. So
yeah, and that's, when you pay us, you're not just paying for the medication. You are paying for start to finish, how to use it, how to mix it, answer any questions, support throughout at the best time to use it. If it's the best peptide for you, if you're experiencing anything that is normal or you're not sure if it's normal, you can call us, reach out, and that's the benefit of having a live team to support you. That being said, I am always willing to help and give a second opinion. We see a lot of crazy stuff from other doctors, clinics, or self-prescribing. And if you're unsure if you want to potentially switch clinics or switch providers, reach out to us. But you can't just send us your entire therapy and then your diet for the next 10 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I can tell you, I've got text message galore, just scroll.
Right.
People, when I tell them, like, I don't have enough information on this, and then they send me all of that. And I'm
right.
For me to spend that amount of time going through your diet, your training, you need to be a client, because this is a business. We do need to be able to keep our lights on overhead, or keep our lights on over our head, and be able to pay to create this information and pass out.
Correct.
So
a few things that I've gone through in a little bit. I don't know, just can talk about it a little bit. I've done a 36-hour fast. That was terrible. But the reason why I was trying to do it is to fix glucose.
Okay.
Like I was saying, my glucose was a little lower in the 70s, and it started creeping up into the 90s. I don't know if it really fixed it. I don't know if I'm having a stomach issue. It's kind of funny, but you and I started checking our glucose.
Yep.
My finger looks like yeah. But what I was saying is that it's funny because you sent me a picture and your glucose was 51. And I was like, how do you feel? You're like, I feel fine.
Right.
What I'm trying to talk about in this premises of this glucose, if mine was 90s and you were 51, it's numbers. Kind of back to hormones. Numbers, we don't treat numbers, we treat symptoms. Right. So the symptoms of having a higher glucose, like myself, you would say, well, it seems like you might be becoming carb resistant, right? Insulin resistant. But I'm still getting the pumps in the gym, getting sleep. I'm not getting fat. I'm hungry.
I was going to say, how's your appetite?
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that are leading up. And then for you, I'd be like, dude, you're going hypo. You're like, well, I'm not shaky.
Right.
I'm fine. You're not feeling those ups and downs all day, right? So what I'm trying to get is that when you talk about hormones like we do here, as you always say, we treat the symptom, not the numbers. And that's a perfect cause right there, because people be like, dude, you need to like clean up your diet or go lower carb. But if you're still progressing and still, putting on size or getting strong, it doesn't matter.
Right.
So that was just kind of one of the things that I want to touch on about numbers, as you always say,
Yeah. I mean, the number, you could have an identical twin, and for your testosterone dose or where your blood sugars at are going to be completely different, because you probably have different genetic makeup, even though you're identical twin. So it's not different, but yeah. And how you respond to different things in your training and the foods you're taking and what your body responds best to.
Yeah.
So
no. Matt, do you have any questions for us?
So you've been doing a lot of calls. What
Yes.
been asking on your
A lot of people want to know what we do here, right? A lot of people, I think, are kind of a little misinformed when they hear testosterone replacement or HRT. I think of TRT and HRT as two different things, right? TRT is testosterone replacement therapy. That is just a one sector type of thing. It's just testosterone, right? What we do here is HRT, hormone replacement therapy. So we look at a lot of different things, right? So people always call in, they're always worried about like, well, how much is it going to be on testosterone? I was like, well, we do hormones. We look at the whole spectrum, right? So when we look at the whole spectrum, we look at the thyroid. We look at, I'm just going down the line, but we look at thyroid, your IGF, your DHEA, total, your testosterone, free testosterone. We look at your lipids. We look at your kidneys, your liver. We look at everything. I understand that these are certain aspects that sometimes we don't cover, but we have a product really for everything in a sense. So hormone replacement therapy is totally different than testosterone replacement therapy. So that would be my biggest thing of like the difference of what we provide here is not just testosterone, it's hormones in general. So,
And you guys touched on this a little bit, but if someone's looking and they know they want peptide or some sort of treatment, why go with LifeXMD? You mentioned that you guys are available, but can you explain a little bit more about like what that means for someone? Like, are you a text message away? Can they call? Like, why not just order it online if they can find it cheaper?
And there's so much we can touch on, but the majority of people want to do this the right way. So they want to do it legally. They want to do it under the care of a physician, because you've only got your health one time, and you can permanently screw that up. So what is your body and your health worth to you? So sure, it's going to be what's the right word? It's not going to be as cheap as going online and ordering it illegally from a research company.
Right.
But again, you get what you pay for. So by signing up and working with us, you're going to be under the care of a physician. Your medications come from a licensed pharmacy inside the U.S. with a valid medical prescription, which allows you to travel anywhere in the world. So you don't have to worry about that with customs and stuff like that. As well as the knowledge. Our staff and our team all goes through yearly medical training with Dr. Neil Rouzier. We've been using him for probably 12 plus years now. I always recommend people when they're searching who they want to work with, call around and ask the other companies what type of training the staff that you're going to be working with undergoes yearly, because information is constantly changing. So we want to be able to provide the most cutting edge medical information. And since that information is always changing, the only way to stay on top of it is to be constantly going through continuing medical education training. And in turn, that allows us to provide the most cutting edge therapies and plans that will get you to your goals the safest, fastest way possible. So on top of having the best medications, having knowledge, and having a team that is very widely versed on nutrition, on supplements, on training, on peptides, hormones, and not just hormone use, but hormone optimization, because normal is not optimal, and so on. Having somebody that can hold your hand the entire way through, answer all your questions, that's just one of the many benefits that I hear from the clients that we work with.
And then DT, you work with a lot of clients. If someone's looking to get started, can they talk to you first? Can you answer like their high level questions?
yeah, if you are looking to get started with LifeXMD, we were doing a lot of things of filling out a health history or whatnot. But yeah, if you are looking to get started and you do want to have a consultation, it's free of charge. It's no worries. You can go online. You can book a consultation. You can go, if you find one of our ads, you can go on there, set up a consultation, or you can contact me directly at dtlifexmd.com, send me an email. That's a really good way as well, or contact me on IG. You can always DM me through the LifeXMD page or my personal page.
Cool. And Justin, so in terms of blood work, is there a reason to get the blood work through LifeXMD?
Yes, and very simple reason. If you do this through your insurance and your insurance decides to deny the claim for your blood work, the panel that we run on average runs between $5,500 and $6,000. And the panel through us is usually around $350, just depending on which tests we need to run. So I often tell people that, if you go through your insurance and they don't cover it, there's absolutely nothing I can do. So don't call me when you get a $6,000 bill in the mail, because I'm only going to be able to say, I'm sorry, that sucks. But the lab is not going to work with me because you went and did it through your insurance. Whereas if you pay us, the worst case is you're going to be out that, let's call it $350, round it up and ballpark it. But best case, you're going to have a receipt. You can submit that to your insurance. Your insurance may cover it, but if they don't, a lot of times they will apply it towards your yearly, it's your deductible. I'm not good with insurance. But a lot of times they will apply it towards your deductible. So worst case, you might be out $350, but you're not out $5,000 or $6,000. And the other benefit is the labs come directly back to us. We have our own set standard panel, so we know. So we have our own set panel, which is, I think we've probably spent 10, 12 years fine tuning it. So a lot of people will ask us, just send me the list and I'll go run it through my doctor. That's fine. We can send it to you. My question to you is, how is your doctor going to know how to interpret those results and tell you what they mean and then what to do with that information going forward? So that's also, if you do order the blood through us, we will do a consultation after and tell you where your results came back at versus what's considered optimal. And then if you were to entertain a program, what we would need to do to get you from where you currently are to where your dream body or your goals are going to lead to you in the next 6 months, how to get you there the safest, fastest way possible.
DT. So testosterone is everywhere. There's all kinds of advertising on TV, online ads. who should consider taking testosterone? What are some of the common symptoms of someone who's a good candidate?
Sure. This is actually a double-edged sword. Who should consider taking testosterone? What are the symptoms? How do you know you have low T, right? Really, really, really great question. It's really hard to identify if you have low testosterone without doing blood work. Even if you pull blood work and you see that your testosterone is not low, but it's in this normal range, like we said, we don't treat numbers, we treat symptoms. For us, unfortunately, we only take anyone that's a 30 and over for testosterone. If you're 25 to 29, we do have these types of therapies that you could go through, but you're not going to get prescribed testosterone in itself, due to the fact that within that range, we feel here that it's a little too young to put you on testosterone to stay on the rest of your life. We try to do it a little natural way with compounds that will help you. But we try to look towards your future, especially having kids and stuff like that. So the best way to know about if you have low T is go get your blood work done, right? Of course. But anyone technically is a candidate in a sense of, if you have low T, we can help you and treat you. If you're under 25, I'd recommend looking at your diet, looking at your regimen, looking at what you're taking. You might be taking something that might be lowering it. So,
cool. Justin, for you, peptides, what are they? How are they beneficial?
Yes.
So what's a peptide?
All right. Peptides, simply put, are sequences of amino acids. And our body, those are the building blocks of what we're made of, proteins. So again, they're sequences of amino acids. A lot of times they will elicit a hormonal response or a response from your body to do something. And I realize that's very wide and broad, but when I talk about peptides, we've got peptides that will help with your sexual performance. We've got peptides that will help make your skin tanner. We've got peptides that will help increase growth hormone production, that will help reduce inflammation and pain from muscle injuries. We've got peptides that will help you sleep better. So really, the sky's the limit. There are thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of peptides that are out there. Obviously, it's just a small fraction that become popular and are very fitting to the field that we're in. But there is virtually a peptide for everything under the sun. So I'm a huge advocate and a huge fan of them because the risk to reward is phenomenal. There's very little risk and great reward. So when you use peptides, the other benefit is a lot of people were under the impression taking SARMs years ago that it didn't shut down your natural hormone production. In reality, that's just the opposite. It actually shuts them down very hard. And the benefit of peptides is in most cases, they don't shut down. They actually stimulate your body's own natural production. So not only are you going to save a ton of money, say you want to be on growth hormone, you're going to save a ton of money because brand name growth hormone is extremely expensive, but we're going to work on getting your body's own natural growth hormone pulse or response to bring you back up to the optimal levels. So you're the best of both worlds.
And then DT, what are some popular peptides and what are the benefits? Like, which ones do you like? Do you see that people work well?
Yeah, so probably the most popular peptide right now or peptides would be tesamorelin plus IPAM. A really big one that is coming into the mix is MOTS-c. That's coming in pretty hot. IGF is always a huge thing of my favorite. IGF is a insulin growth factor. What it does, it actually helps with nutrient partitioning agents, so it drives more nutrients into your muscle as you're training. We like to take it actually pre-workout. That's my experience and Justin's experience as well. But that is I would say the key indicator for growth hormone in itself. CGC plus IPAM is another growth hormone secretagogue. BPC, I can sit here and go but like a lot of the top ones right now, I would say are still tesamorelin plus IPAM, MOTS-c, BPC 157, TB500 is kind of a hit or miss because I don't think they understand how well it works in conjunction with BPC. And then IGF is I'd say my number one, but maybe not to some people.
Yeah, so it's all going to be also based around personal goals and also your goals change. Like your goal right now might be to heal an injury, and in 6 weeks it might be to rock out like Peter North, the porn star. Sure. So just depends on how they're changing.
I actually really like melanotan. I I burn really easy. I really enjoy taking a little shot and going out in the sun for
2 minutes.
Dude, it's crazy, but I'll go out there for like 30 minutes and I'm like, wow, this is the best. And it gives you random boners. So like, I feel like I'm 15 again. So
NARBs, no apparent reason boner.
no,
NARBs.
That's actually good. Make a shirt.
Actually, believe it or not, that came to me from a orthopedic surgeon friend of mine.
Really?
As you can see, they're very professional.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions?
So we offer a subscription model. What are the benefits of signing up for our subscription model?
Sure. The benefits are tons of benefits, but it makes it a more affordable payment when you're breaking down. Makes it a more affordable payment when you're breaking down your monthly therapies versus saying ordering 10 or 20 weeks at a time. The other benefit is if we need to do dosage adjustments, which typically does happen in the first 2 or 3 months of being on therapy, it makes it very easy to adjust your medication versus if you just ordered, say, 10 or 20 weeks of a certain strength of thyroid and come to find out you're going to need a stronger or lower dose. Potentially you could end up wasting some of the medication. So being on a subscription program and benefit there. I will also say that being on a subscription program does not lock you into any type of contract. I see a lot of companies that sign you into contracts and you never hear from them again. And I think that's a really crappy way of doing business. So you are not locked into any contract. That's where it becomes very important for us to make sure that you are happy, healthy, and horny. You're getting to your goals and you're happy on the program. You're feeling great, because if not, you can leave at any time and go down the road to the next guy. And, yeah. So this is really choppy today.
No, you're good.
DT, can you talk a little bit about your lifestyle? I know one of the things that's important to people is that they're talking to someone who actually lives what they preach.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about you and sort of your lifestyle, how you eat, work out.
Sure. I think my lifestyle is a little unorthodox. I'm not the normal person. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to identify with myself sometimes. My lifestyle is bodybuilding, right? And as a competitor, it's a little more of a, I don't think it's as obsessive now, but it is a little more over the top, right? Clients that come to us, I don't expect them to be like me. I expect them to be the weekend warriors, the average Joes, and I say that with all due respect, the fact that not everybody wants to look like a bodybuilder, and I understand that, and that's okay. A lot of people want to look a certain way that they feel is the best version of themselves. And when you look at the best version of yourself, it can be whatever you want it to be. In regards to that, when you come here and get HRT, you have to understand that the HRT is only one part of the actual problem. The other two problems would be your diet and working out. So there's a tripod area where you can look at it and say, okay, I got one piece of the puzzle, but now I have to work on the two. So if you want to look a certain way, you have to do the work in order to get there. And that includes diet, training, cardio, and taking the hormones that are properly necessary for you. So myself, like I said, it could be bodybuilding. I do coaching. I do all these things. So I've gone through the training. I look at things a little differently due to where I am. But what we do here, we walk the walk and we talk the talk. Is that the correct thing? Yeah. So that's what I can say on that. And remember, this is the best thing I'll leave it with. You're not going to change in a couple of months because you didn't get here in a couple of months. It took you years to look like you do and feel like you do. So I could say it's going to take years to change it, but it's going to take years to change it. So